Awesome. So what we'll do is we'll go and get started. Um, just as a heads up that I can see a bit of people's kind of cameras. If I do miss anything, the team will let me know. Other than that, we are good to go. So I'm going to jump right into things. So welcome to our first info session of the summer 2025 Youth Impact Challenge competition. Um, Similar, we have the screenshot from our grand finals last year, and I just want to give a huge welcome to everyone possibly joining our YIC community, as well as the alumni and staff we have out tonight at the event. Um, One of the things you'll probably hear me say throughout this presentation is how awesome our alumni and past projects are, and I cannot be more grateful to be a part of the team this summer. So here's a little slide introducing the YSC team. So not all of our staff were able to make it tonight, but what I will do is um, as you can see on the slide, we have Arpita, who has been truly an amazing help this summer, who was the lead coordinator last year and the year prior, and this year has joined the team as the social media and events coordinator. You have myself, Jessica, who is this year coming on as the summer program lead coordinator. Some of you might remember me from last year or from the Climate Change Makers Challenge in the past. So you'll probably see a lot of notifications and all those fun stuff for me this summer about our awesome workshops, things like that. We have Kobe, who's our partnerships coordinator, Shtangshu, who's the executive director at YIC, and Wiley, who is also unable to make it tonight, but is our judge and mentorship coordinator. So Kobe and Shtangshu, if you want to briefly introduce yourselves, I'll gladly hand it over to y'all.
Okay, I guess I can start. Good to see everyone. Thank you again for coming out. My name's Kobe. Um, I work on the partnership side, also with some of the alumni engagement. So if I've reached out to you and you're a returning participant, you might have seen my face or my email. And I go to McMaster University. I'm a student right now. Pass it off to Shitangshu.
Hi, folks. My name's Shitangshu, pronouns he, him. First of all, it's so exciting to see so many like familiar faces in the chat, and then equally lots of incredible new people as well. So I am just so grateful to this and team that's really kept all this work going. Just like high level, got a bit of a varied background. I'll share my LinkedIn, but one thing that has been really exciting to explore over and now old youth career has been this question of how do you make meaningful impact with any work that you do while also trying to take care of yourself in a way that's also fair to you. So I think like that exploration and a journey has taken me to a few different places, but I'm grateful at this moment to be with these wonderful people and all of you as part of the Youth Impact Challenge team. And so, yeah, so I'm so very grateful to be here. Thank you, Jess, especially, and really everyone on our team for making this summer happen.
Awesome. Thank you, Shtangshu and Kobe, for introducing yourselves. A little bit about me is I'm a part-time student at Nipissing University, studying history and geography. Outside of YIC, I do a lot of mental health advocacy um, and mental health wellness. But yeah, so again, you'll probably see various members of our team in the Slack. I highly encourage y'all to connect with us on LinkedIn, also to join our Slack community, which you'll hear more about that later. But yeah, so starting off with a few things about our summer competition. So round one of our summer competition is essentially the deliverable is a 3-page proposal. It can be anywhere from 1 to 3 pages, though we typically recommend folks do at least 2 pages. And if it is over 3 pages, chances are you'll get an email or a message from us asking you to revise before the judging period. The project should be focused on social or environmental impact. We do ask that, and it is an eligibility requirement of a team of at least 3 based in Canada. So again, if one of the things you'll probably hear me say is at any point, if you need accommodations throughout the summer, please reach out to us. We do our best to accommodate where we're able, though we do ask that it be a team of 3, although we do allow teams of 2 on an exception by exception basis. Another thing is projects cannot have received $5,000 plus in historic funding. Again, a lot of these are our eligibility criteria, and if you have any questions about them, I highly encourage you to send me an email. Later on, you'll see me drop my email in the chat, or if you feel more comfortable asking it over Slack, absolutely. A little bit about when we say based in Canada. So based in Canada essentially means that the team lead is Canadian citizen, permanent residence, or someone with refugee status, even if they're currently working or studying abroad. The team lead is an international student or someone on a work permit that is legally working or studying in Canada. So one of the things you'll probably hear me talk about later on is a bit more into the team and the team matchmaking side of things. But again, very high level criteria for round 1 for the 3-page proposal. Round 2 looks a little bit different than round 1. Essentially, the ask for round 2 is a 5-minute video. The top 30 teams that essentially are chosen at the end of round 1 will record a 5-minute video. This video can be developed using a variety of software. It's completely up to you, though we ask that it is a link and or a Google Drive file that we are able to share with the judges and review for like quality checks purposes. If the video is over 5 minutes, we will, chances are similar to round 1, you'll get a message from myself or one of the team asking you to revise the video. The judges are only looking at the 5-minute video. Anything over than that, sometimes we do give like a 10 seconds over. But again, that is, we do ask that it's under 5 minutes. The video is essentially an opportunity for you to develop the concept further with your mentor and team. So our top 30 teams will have will be connected with a mentor. We do our best to recruit our mentors from a variety of fields and to match up with the kind of field your project is in. Again, we do our best. However, all of our mentors are amazing, wonderful people who have skills in entrepreneurship or business or social impact and development. This will look like a 1-hour meeting with your mentor during the mentorship period, as well as we also have lots of workshops that we're running this summer to refine your pitch. For the workshops, we do record them, so if you're unable to attend, absolutely go back and watch them later. One of the things we actually recommend for people is when writing their videos to go through some of our round 1 workshops and kind of make sure that your video and your proposal match all that sort of criteria. Round 3 is also called our grand finals. So these are live presentations. So the top 10 will present live in front of judges. This is typically over a Zoom or a Google Meets call. Teams will have 7 minutes in total. So what this could look like is 4 minutes for the pitch and 3 minutes for question period from the judges, or 5 minutes for the pitch, 3 minutes for the questions. Anyone is welcome to come and watch, and we highly encourage people, even if you don't make it through round 2, to come and watch to see all these awesome projects and innovators, and also to get a chance to meet our judges, sometimes other members of the community, past participants, and that. For round 3, we do ask that the top 10 teams meet with us the week before, essentially for a dry run of the presentation, as well as for any final feedback from the team and to kind of rule out any tech issues that might happen on the day of the event. Again, if you have any questions throughout this whole thing, feel free to drop it in our chat or to let me know afterwards. Here we have kind of a timeline. So this is an overview of what the kind of competition looks like throughout the summer. One thing to note is that there is a few things missing, such as like the specific mentorship period for the top 30 teams. However, that will be released when going into round 2, as well as the dates of our workshops are being finalized with a few of the facilitators. So I highly encourage you to join the Slack and to kind of stay in there for the updates. So June 5th today is the essentially the round 1 written proposal application opens. This application can be found either in our Slack channel as well as on our website. What I'll do is either myself or one of the staff will drop the link to the Slack channel and the application in the chat here as kind of a bonus for y'all attending the info session. June 27th is when our first workshops begin. These workshops will typically go up until the round 1 proposal date. We do our best to find times that will work for anywhere from Atlantic time to Pacific time. However, as I mentioned, recordings are available after the presentation, so do not worry if you miss it. Round 1 proposals are due on July 3rd by 11:59 p.m. With the round 2 video due on August 5th. The round 3 / our grand finals live presentations are August 28th. So what we typically do is we give that date so folks know to kind of have it on their radar in advance, either to attend the event or in case they're presenting. So similar to what you heard me talk about earlier is we have our team information. So this is going a bit more in depth to our eligibility criteria. As mentioned before, a minimum of 3 people per team. Again, if you do have a team of 2, please reach out to us ahead of time so we can chat a bit more with y'all, possibly try if there's another person looking for a team and has similar experience to connect y'all and those sort of things. We do have a team matchmaking channel in our Slack. So absolutely, if you are looking for a team or someone to join your project, feel free to post in there. I also recommend people post in the intros and networking channel. That way, when you're looking for teammates, they can go through and see a bit of your background as well as possibly other projects you're working on, things like that. As mentioned before, the team lead has to be based in Canada, which is also considered international students or Canadians living, working, studying abroad are also eligible. Again, if you have any concerns about the eligibility criteria, please reach out to us before the deadline. If you reach out to us after the deadline, there is little we can do at that point. So I highly recommend you reach out to us as soon as possible. The members of the team must be between 16 and 25 years old. One thing to note is that this is 16 to 25 years old this calendar year of the competition. So if you are turning 16 in October, for example, you're still eligible to participate. If you turned 26 in May, you're still eligible to participate. Our last kind of team criteria is that your project must have received less than 5,000 in historic funding. Again, if you have any concerns with that, reach out to us. We do kind of go through the treatment of in-kind funding is at the discretion of the organizing team. And it is a requirement to declare any supports you have received. So one of the things when we go through the proposals is we do a double check to make sure that to see if teams have received over the 5,000 funding. And if so, you'll get an email from us or a message, and we'll essentially do our best to kind of talk it out with the team and all that sort of thing. If you have any questions about team eligibility, you can see I've put my email on this slide. We do ask that for accommodation requests, you let us know as soon as possible. Please let us know if you do need accommodations. We'll do our best to help. So similar, kind of going off of that is so one of the things people ask when participating or considering participating is what idea they can propose. The short answer to this is anything that's innovated, though impact should be at the center of the idea. So one of the things, I'll actually have Shitang Xu, our executive director, Shang-Xu, if you're okay, talking a little bit about some of our past projects and ideas, since I know you've interacted with a lot of the teams throughout the years. So
for sure. Okay. I like how Erica was just asking this question and you're like, this is one of the most common questions we get. So to Erica and others, what I really find most exciting about the Youth Impact Challenge, and part of the reason why I'm particularly drawn to working here is the fact that for us, an idea is defined broadly, and it isn't just like a business thing. Or isn't just like a pure like altruism thing either, right? Like we are open to any kind of concept as long as there's impact at the center, as I just said. So what that means is if you have a social enterprise business concept that's, for example, helping folks connect for jobs, like Dragos is going to share in the panel, and that's eligible. If you have a nonprofit concept like Kobe and Elba did, and Kobe, you're going to hear from as a facilitator in our panel, and then Elba's at Vision 2020, then that's a nonprofit concept. where, they're taking various donations and then redistributing them, that's also eligible. If you hear, we've had like really interesting social media campaign concepts. We've had some really interesting documentary or art concepts. There's a whole range of them. So before I just talk about them, let me share my screen here. And I'm gonna like share some examples and also show to you folks where you can actually see some of these very kind of projects, just so that you can kind of browse around a little bit. And if you know where to look, we actually have a lot of our even historic uh, uh, kind of proposals and stuff that are available for people to kind of check out. So first of all, over here, if you look at the winners list, we don't list every single historic winner ever, but we tend to list some of our the teams which kind of get their grand prizes and whatnot, and or like second, third, all those ones. But you're going to see what we have here. We have a research proposal. If you get an increasing number of research proposals, I think is really interesting. So I had a research proposal around cancer, which had won last year's competition. We had, this is basically powering like a better emergency response. We had some environmental proposals around making interesting products from kelp, around recycling paper into new kinds of packaging. So what you're seeing here is there's research proposals here. There's more of that social enterprise model. There's some technology things with Superhero, right? Various technology apps. You've got a machine learning framework. So Firewatch was really interesting. So essentially predictive algorithms that were eligible, and they didn't have like a business. They had like essentially an idea, and they didn't really know how to incorporate it at this point, but they came to us at a point where, we've got a little bit of this concept and this technology and this algorithm. That's essentially, it was like really an algorithm that we want to employ in the most effective way. So that was eligible, right? So there you go. You can see the whole variety. Atmospheric water processing. This is again more science-based. While she is true, Ibu, I don't know if he was in the call right now. You had signed up for the session here. But like an incredible proposal looking at how do we make education around STEM more accessible to different youth. Repeat Floral you're going to hear about, and that's like almost like as pure a social impact focused model as you can get, where you take wedding flowers and after a wedding you give them to various people who could get a smile at receiving them. And you're going to hear from Yolanda in a little bit as well. So you're going to see a huge range of things. Ada, one of my favorite teams, by the way, all of these are my favorite teams, I should say that. But Ada is like an art, they developed an art sculpture with their funding. We've had so many incredible folks, and some of these, by the way, reusables. They got a whole whack of venture capital money recently around their whole concept. And the folks are featured in Forbes as well, Forbes 30 under 30. Around kind of taking zero waste packaging and making it when you're having takeaway, how do you incorporate that into the supply chain for delivery folks, all this kind of stuff. We've got such incredible youth, and honestly, like I could shout out every one of them. I think Kobe's like leading an alumni highlight series where we want to put a bit more focus to our youth. What I'm going to share with you as well here is if you look that down, you're going to see a lot of Public Choice Award folks who had shared that, hey, we're willing to have our project shared online and to the public. And in that case, you can actually see some historic projects. Here, you're going to see some climate change makers, folks from the Climate Change Makers Challenge. High level, the Climate Change Makers Challenge is something that happens usually every spring, and we bring together youth from across the world. So this is more international in scope, and they kind of create various concepts from zero in this kind of online ideathon over the course of like 36 hours. And this is like another very interesting, cool event that we encourage you to check out. But then for a YC specifically, you're going to see a lot of our historic projects here as well. So feel free to give this a look. In most of these cases, they're like the video pitches, and again, shared with permission. Like they've all given all this, give us permission to share this, and check it out to get even more of a sense. So if I can summarize the answer to your question, Erica, and to your prompt, Jess, in terms of what is eligible, it really can be anything from an art concept to a nonprofit venture to drama scripts, at least a concept for a drama script, to the traditional tech startup idea to a business concept. It's social media campaigns. There's really so many ways to make impact. And one of the things that I'm also especially happy for is when I hear folks who reach out to us and say, uh, we weren't really eligible for all these business competitions or these things that are out there, but we were at the YC one of the places where, even the wackiest idea, which didn't fit a box, as long as it was trying to make a difference, could still be pitched. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Jess, and others who asked that. So yeah, so I'm so excited to see what you come up with this year. I'm always left inspired and speechless by the kinds of projects that we get.
Awesome. Thank you, Shitangshu. So we'll keep going with the slides. So what I'll encourage is if you already have an idea, feel free to raise your hand. To be honest, when I participated in YC in 2020 and 2021, the first year when first looking at it, I had no idea what we wanted to do for an idea. My team, we sat down going, we have a field we'd like to do and a rough goal, but the exact idea, there was so many different things to do. And over time through the workshops and connecting with some of the other members of the community, we were able to kind of narrow that idea down a little bit. What I also encourage is if you have an idea and you need help tearing it down, we do have office hour sessions throughout round one. I know Kobe and myself and I know Shitangshu usually end up offering some. Absolutely, if you have questions or need someone just to bounce ideas off of or all those sort of things, absolutely come out to our office hours or message us in Slack. And also connect with other members of the community because sometimes the best ideas are brought out through collaboration. So kind of going similar to what Shitangshu said. So the long answer is, right, think about your community changes, looking at some of the alumni concepts for innovation or inspiration and innovation. You'll see that I dropped the link to the past winners page in the chat, some of the ones that we went through, as well as check out the Instagram. A lot of the past public choice, similar to what you saw, are on there from various years. And we encourage you to flesh out your idea as much as possible, as well as to focus on the social and or environmental change. So one thing you might be wondering is how to find a team. So for some people, they come into the competition, they have 2 or 3 friends recruited, they have a team, they have an idea ready to go. But for some people like myself and other past participants, we didn't necessarily have a full team going into these kind of things. So what we encourage you to do is, due to the, as we said, the team of 3+ requirement, to recruit 2 or more of your friends. These could also be classmates, perhaps people that you volunteer with, or sometimes people connect with people from like their church group, or had a team who connected through like Boy Scouts before and all those sort of things. Connect over our Slack channel. So we have various channels. We have an awesome channel about resources and events that every time we come across an opportunity. So I know we recently posted a bunch of the funding opportunities we had come across that we sent out in our newsletter. This is also where you'll see the link to past recording, and typically you'll also get to connect with some of our staff and team. We also have a few networking events that run out through the summer. One I want to shout out, is the second info session / team matchmaking event on June 28th. So I highly encourage y'all to join the Slack, or to send us an email if you are interested in that, and we'll make sure to send the link your way. As we mentioned, there is that channel in the Slack that you can feel free to post in. But one of the things I do also want to mention, and you've probably heard me say it before, is if you need accommodations or help finding a team at any point, please reach out to us as soon as possible. As soon as you know that you need help, send a message our way. We do our best to help. Please note that YIC is not responsible for finding you a third team member, although we do our best to find teammates and to help out where we can. In terms of a possible question of, is there a limit to teammates? No, although for ease of kind of communicating and sharing the work and all that sort of stuff, typically under teams of 10. Honestly, the majority of teams come out to be teams of 3 or teams of 4. I know we did have a team one year, Shangshu, that was 20. Correct me if I'm wrong, from last year, but again, recruiting 2 or more of your friends is your best bet, or connecting with people on Slack or the networking events. So some of y'all might be asking, what about funding? So this year we do have 40K plus in funding. The top 30 will receive $1,000 and the grand prize of 5,000. One thing I do want to note is if you make it into the top 30, and I say this on behalf of myself and the team, please do your best to respond to emails and communication we send you as soon as possible. Sometimes there are questions that come from us about related to eligibility, related to past funding and support, or things related to mentorship. And so we just do our best to make sure that people are communicating back and forth and are aware of the expectations on our end, kind of thing. Related to that is ensuring participation in key program components. As mentioned, one of the things in round 2 is that mentorship meeting, or connecting with your mentor, as well as filling out the required forms and those sort of things. Another thing is if there's any other opportunities. So some people, they want to participate, but they're unable to find a team, or they're really busy due to school, or summer programs or summer jobs. And one of the things we say is that anyone is absolutely welcome to come out to any of the workshops or networking events that we post in the Slack channel. Some of these past workshops have been about ideation, systems theory, and everything in between for your success at YIC and innovation work beyond. We do our best to find facilitators that have experience in these areas. Some of them are even led by some of our own staff and alumni. Networking events, so it's an opportunity to connect with fellow changemakers. So this is a chance to talk, exchange ideas, kind of learn about each other's stories through our Slack and through these dedicated events. And then, as you probably heard me talk about mentorship before, our top 30 teams will have the chance to meet one-on-one with a mentor during round 2. We will also be running up pop-up mentorship meetings as well, and all are invited. These typically take place in round 2 and round 3. What I will do, and I can see we're just on 8:30, which is great timing. Does anyone have any questions right now? I wanted to give the opportunity if anyone had any questions. So I will take that as a no for now. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in my chat and I'll do my best to answer them. This screenshot that you're seeing actually in the background of this slide is from our CCM Climate Change Makers Challenge. And yeah, so what I'll do is I will hand it over to Kobe for the alumni panel. But yeah, if you have any questions, and again, I highly encourage sticking around for our alumni panel to hear about their YIC journey, and as well as their journey post YIC and how it kind of shaped their innovation. And yeah.
Awesome. So before we get into the alumni panel, which I highly encourage you guys all to stay for, we have an incredible lineup. Dragos, Eliana, Elva, and